Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Games and Things. Whether you're into watching the big game or the latest movie, it's so important to have comfortable seating. Nowhere in East Tennessee carries a wider, better selection of home theater seats than Games and Things. I know that for a fact. I got mine there. I guess it was last August or the August before. They're fantastic. See, I can't even tell because they're still like new. It's great stuff. They've got just the selection goes on and on and on. You can go and test them out with your own rump out there at Games and Things, ourgameroom.com, or you can visit them online, as I just gave you the website. Games and Things, been doing it for more than 40 years. All right, quick hitter segment. I just want to talk about some of these coaching issues that are still out there. And first of all, there have been so many people freaking out. Oh my gosh, how come we don't have a defensive coordinator? Why is this guy doing this? What are we doing? I'm sitting there thinking, what is the rush? You weren't going to sign anyone in signing day anyway, okay? You weren't going to, I don't care who you were bringing, you weren't going to sign anybody. You were done. If Pruitt had stayed, you were probably still done. You're 7 months from your next game. Am I the only one that looks at this and say, go ahead, take your time. I'd rather you find the right guy than just the first guy.
Well,
anybody agree, disagree? Why am I missing on that?
No, I totally agree, and here's the deal. I mean, what was one of Jeremy Pruitt's calling cards he left us with? Big staff turnover. I mean, he was always changing his coaches and everything, so maybe it is a little bit more important to not only get it right as far as what kind of schemes you want, but let's get the relationships right within the coaching room to where, you know, you're not just sitting here churning guys constantly. So, yeah, you know, what is it? Spring practice would typically be 6 weeks away, maybe, something like that. I think there is plenty of time to make sure that we go down a road where we're not bringing a guy in, and in October, Heupel is sitting there going, oh, man.
Week 4.
I really didn't. Yeah, I really didn't like
that might happen in September.
So
decisive action.
So you're not in favor of the Jeremy Pruitt, which you said, you know, when he hired Brumbaugh, we didn't even have a meeting. I just brought him in.
I think I might sit down with him.
Might talk with him. Yeah, might do a Zoom
Have
call.
a cup of coffee, maybe.
Yeah. Thoughts on is there a rush here?
No, I think you're right. They don't even have a date for spring. I mean, obviously, because they don't have the staff in place. I think you're going to see probably a later spring for Tennessee, just based on the timing of everything that's happened. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely right, because when you hire the defensive coordinator, guess what? He's going to have to hire staff, and there's still going to be guys that he's going to have to bring. You know, so we can talk about Monday all we want. Maybe he meant next Monday. It's like, still, I don't know that we're that close at this point. But I don't think that if you wait 2 more weeks, you know, it's not like the Pruitt situation where every day you wait to fire him, this gets more complicated.
Yeah, I don't.
But now I don't know that there's that much negative.
And John, I'm wondering how many times have we seen Tennessee do the opposite and rush into something just to get it done and do the wrong thing?
Exactly.
I mean, why not take your time? I mean, people forget last year, in the February signing day, Jeremy Pruitt signed 2 players. This year, you get some coming in, so that's not a big deal. You know, and he may already have a lot of things lined up that just haven't been announced yet.
The argument I've heard for rushing it is the players in the portal haven't signed with anywhere if you got this guy in here. And I'm like, no, I would rather make sure that my coaching staff is right than any of the players currently in the portal right now. I don't, you know,
defense coordinator
all gone.
I think
more important than Henry To'oTo'o.
You can assume they're all gone because they are all gone. Like everybody's already gone. Like you're talking about 2 guys basically.
Crouch and To'oTo'o
and Crouch, and everyone else. It's like you don't need to hurry there for 2 guys. The deadlines that you heard were the classes. The drop date was like January 27th or something, and you had signing day. Those 2 days are done. I don't know how much impact it would have been anyway.
All right, so much for quick hitter. We had one topic. We'll squeeze one more thing in here. T. Martin, in case you haven't heard, did get a job, so Tennessee's kind of off the hook there. There was a possibility of that getting ugly. That was another little parting gift from Philip Fulmer that the AD promised one of his assistants that will give you a raise and an extension. Where does that happen? Where's the AD, unless it's my old quarterback, take care of him? So he's gone to be the receivers coach of the Ravens, gets you off the hook, but it's still got some VFLs. It started Heupel off on the wrong foot with some of these former players who believe that everybody on the coaching staff has to be at Tennessee. We talked about this last week with 3 VFLs on our show, and I was shocked that all 3 of them said, no, that shouldn't be one of your top things on the resume that you're looking for. Blew me away because you certainly don't see that in social media. You don't hear that. But I wanted to see, all right, how many of these good programs are just chock full of alums on their staff? So I looked at this year's playoff teams: Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, and Notre Dame. Let's take a look. Ah, wow, that's really the key.
Yeah.
Alabama, Ohio State, and Notre Dame each have one guy. And now Clemson, they got a lot of Clemson guys. Okay. But I think this shows you can do it with a bunch of guys or not. I don't see the need that you've got to have tons of guys. But
No.
anyway, the T. Martin thing
surprised
helped.
Clemson is that high.
Yes, I was too. I'm surprised. The T. Martin thing didn't help Heupel, I don't think, though. With some people, you're gonna have to go and kiss the VFL rings and be good, which you want them to be a part of the program, absolutely. And if somebody happens to be a VFL and the best coach for the job, hire them. But the idea that we don't win unless we have 5 assistants that played here at Tennessee. Nobody seems to care about these guys when they're on their way out. By the way, Tennessee did talk to Montario Hardesty. He's going to South Carolina. Josh Heupel talked to him, but he's going to South Carolina. Jay Graham has now left you for a second time. He's at Alabama, which begs the question. I keep hearing that Dave Hart and Jeremy Pruitt and Jimmy Cheek were all saboteurs sent here by Florida and Alabama. Has Tennessee now gotten in on the false flag operations? Is Jay Graham going to work hard down there, or because he's a VFL, he's going to be a saboteur?
He'll be special teams coordinator
Chess, not
too.
checkers, as they say.
He may be going down there to sabotage it. All right, when we come back, let's take a look at the roster drain that we've been talking about. Who's gone, who's back. ESPN ranks you 117th in returning production. That's out of about 130 schools. Josh Heupel's got his work cut out for him. We'll show you next.